A few years ago, we took an educational maple syrup road trip to Grey County, which is about a 2-hour drive from Toronto. Maple season usually takes place between mid-March to mid-April in Ontario, when temperatures start reaching -5 degrees overnight and then warming up to +5 degrees in the mornings, enabling the sap to run freely. Our first stop in Grey County is always English Falls to stretch those legs. Starting your maple tour at Mill Creek to sample their maple candies and chocolates is always a good idea. Next up, we visited Campbell Mountain Maple Products Farm, where owner Bob taught us all about the maple syrup production process. For an educational and hands-on experience, this was our favorite stop, and not just because it started with a maple syrup tasting. Owner Bob and his son gave us an in-depth tour where we learned a lot about the maple production. It was fascinating to hear their story, and the kids even got to tap their own tree, one which had never been tapped before. We tasted the sap and then watched it heat up and turn into maple syrup. And now we appreciate maple syrup a whole lot more because it takes 40 liters of sap to make a liter of maple syrup.
Let's taste that sugary water, which then gets turned into maple syrup.
Next up was a visit to Regal Elk Farm, where the kids and Chris enjoyed the on-site playground. This 200-acre farm not only boasts state-of-the-art maple syrup processing equipment, but it's also home to 125 elk. Every March, Regal Elk Farm hosts its very own maple syrup festival called Maple Magic, and I hear the local kids absolutely love the wagon rides, specialty maple treats, and meeting the elk. Maple ice cream beckoned us at Big Bay General Store, which has been around well before Canada came to be. With ice cream cones in hand, the kids popped by the skipping stone capital of Canada and attempted to skip stones while they enjoyed the ice cream. It was a bit chilly, but they didn't mind one bit. If it's farm animals you're looking for, Dijon Acres is your best bet. In addition to sampling maple taffy and learning about the scenic sugar maples surrounding the area, kids will love meeting the farm animals here.
You like bacon, don't you?
Yeah.
You love bacon. Well, that's where the bacon comes from the piggy. Should we cut him up for bacon? No. He actually looks cute.
Owners Anita and Brian took us on a farm tour, but please remember that, as with all the farms we visited during this trip, these are working farms, and so you should call ahead if you're planning to visit to ensure that they're accepting visitors during the time you're in town. The skills we learned in how to make maple taffy over regular snow is something we've perfected over the last few years. To make a full weekend of it, check into the Cobble Beach Resort. Our cottage-style 2-bedroom suite was perfect for this trip for the grandparents. We each had our own space to lounge around and unwind after that sweet day. We also enjoyed a maple-themed dinner at the Cobble Beach Resort's Sweetwater restaurant. The kids weren't fully into the idea of sitting down and ordering off the kids' menu, hopped up on all that sugar, but luckily for us, the award-winning Nantucket-style clubhouse where the restaurant is housed also has a patio where the kids could play outdoors while we dined indoors. They took the kids' menu, folded it into an airplane, and off they went. Next morning, we enjoyed a maple-themed breakfast at the resort to close out our maple-themed road trip. We hope this Canadian maple-themed road trip entices you to plan your own visit soon.